Welcome to Can We Talk? I'm Derek.
And I'm Sonia. And it has been a long time.
How long has it been?
A whole year.
Like really, literally a year?
We did not vlog in 2024. 2024 has been so busy, but we wanted to come on just so that we could connect with our viewers as we go into the last week of 2024.
You think we still got viewers?
I hope so. I
hope
so.
I think they kind of left. I think.
Well, if you left and you get a ding, please open it up so you can see us, because we didn't want 2024 to end and you all not see Eddie vlog in interactions with me and Derek. And we have so much that we experienced this year, but we're not going to go over everything. We just wanted to check in on you all. We wanted to check in and let you all know how we were. It has been really, really busy. We had quite a few projects that required us to travel, and some other projects that are going to be coming out in 2025 that we're excited about. We've had lots of losses of family and friends that will never be the same because of those losses. We have friends that have lost family members, and we ourselves have lost several family members. It was a very challenging but character building kind of year.
Yeah, and we also had to get used to almost being empty nesters.
Yeah.
Derek is 16. He's in his junior year, but Sion and Sai are officially
out of the house. Well, they're home now
for the
holidays, but Sion has officially moved away.
Yeah, we had to get used to the transition of them not being here. So in combination of everything that Sonia has shared, it's also a transition for us.
Yeah.
It's not that we can't handle it, it's just a transition.
Yeah.
And to get on a vlog and to do this process was very challenging to do at the same time while still life in life.
And we had a lot of life to life.
Yeah.
Have y'all had a lot of life to life? Well, 2025, we expect great things. Probably going to be challenging because the older we get, we realize that just because a new year comes doesn't mean that it's going to be all bells and roses. But we do believe that every experience can build your character, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And if your character is built, then hopefully that's going to show up in your marriage. Remember, this is a marriage vlog. Even though we have singles that watch, and we want you all to watch because we want you all to get married one day and be healthy in the decision. So it's not exclusive for married folks, but we do have a lot of married people that are struggling out there, y'all. Because marriage isn't easy. It's hard. So as we come to the close of 2024, Derek and I came upon this devotional. What's that? See? That's because we got people in our house now. See? We're vlogging! We're not editing it.
No, we're
y'all
not.
know us enough.
No, we're not. I can't be editing this right now.
We just talking freestyle, and Derek is not editing. Derek was the editing man back in the day. He y'all gonna get it raw just like it is.
Yeah.
So I as I was saying, we came across a very powerful devotional earlier this month on humility, and we talked about how sobering it was to actually do these 7 things. And we wanted to share these 7 ingredients to humility with you.
Yeah, can I jump in about humility real quick?
Yeah, jump on in.
We've had vlogs. If you go back into our YouTube channel, you see all the vlogs. One of the vlogs, we touched on humility, but as Sonia was talking, it's probably the most important trait to have in marriage. It's the most difficult trait to have in marriage, because you're talking about experiences that you face in your marriages. You're talking about from the minor things, whether the toilet seat goes up or down,
Whether the toothpaste gets squeezed from the top or the bottom.
Whether the car has different little nicks and crannies and stuff in the cup holder.
Crumbs.
Whether the closet door doesn't shut because there's too many clothes coming out, you just got to put stuff on a hanger. Or some of the major things, caring for a parent who may have dementia, or caring for, dealing with loss of a job, or dealing with maybe a loss of a child, or dealing with finances, or trying to get pregnant, and so those things press on who you are. It presses on you individually, and the most challenging thing is how to be humble and how to have humility while still being a husband or while still being a wife. It's very challenging. And so, to your point about the devotional, we found a devotional that Sonia actually came across, and we just thought it would be so appropriate as we end 2024 and go into 2025. Hopefully, as a married couple, you talked about what does it look like for your marriage. You can't be the same leaving 2024 and going into 2025. There has to be some type of conversation, some type of self-reflection, and we understand there's different severities of where your marriage may be. You may be doing well, or it may be just, you're at the end of your rope. But there should be a conversation going into 2025 in regards to, part of the conversation is to talk about how we, husband and wife, can display the act of being humble and humility. So I wanted to kind of.
And there's nothing more humbling than being married, because you're talking about dying to self, and that's what humility is. And when you get married, two people becoming one, you can't be the same and become one with someone else. You can't. You have to shed some things, right? Going into 2025, Derek and I will be married 30 years, September 3rd. 2025 is going to be our 30th year of marriage. God spare our lives. And for almost 30 years, we've been trying to become one. Right? You think that was because I stayed in my own way of doing and being, and that he stayed in his own way of doing and being? I mean, when we conflict, that's usually because we're trying to maintain something of ourselves.
That's a lot of shedding. 30 years.
That's
a lot of shedding. I almost said
I know.
A lot of
It was like
shedding.
It was like taking dumps. We had to dump some stuff. So y'all, we don't know what we're gonna be saying when we come out here. It's been so long, but for real though, for real. But I hate to be so graphic, but after you take a good dump, don't you feel better? Right? Let's keep it real. We have to do it. That's part of our body's movement, literally, so we can get rid of what we've digested. Right? So think about it. Don't you feel better though? It's a hard process to go through in marriage, dumping things out of ourselves that used to be in us that we thought served us well until we got married, and it didn't. Now, here's the thing. There are always going to be exceptions, y'all. Derek and I say this all the time. This does not apply to sociopaths who you might be married to, okay? Then you can't become one. It's hard. You have to then practice humility on a higher level, prayer, counseling, all that good stuff. But our prayer is that as we leave these 7 principles with you, quiet on the set. Did we not say we were vlogging? Did we not say we were vlogging?
I'll make my tea upstairs.
Hey, honey. Hey, we got time. We just make this.
See, this is when we were alone, we could vlog without any interaction, any interruptions. And this was significant what I was saying too.
It was.
I forgot.
It's okay.
So what I was saying is, it's not always going to apply to you if you're married to someone who's mentally ill.
Right.
And can I just say this? I know we're deviating a little but a lot of people have some form of mental illness and is undiagnosed. Not major, not schizophrenia, even though some might, but there are emotional disorders that have come from trauma that a lot of people have not even gotten help for, and you might be married to that person, or you might be that person. Make 2025 the year to get some help. Look at the pathologies. Look at the frequency, the intensity, and the duration of some of your responses to each other. And if you find that the intensity and the frequency and the duration is frequent, is high, is intense, then you're going to probably need some emotional counseling. Get some help in 2025. It doesn't have to be us.
Or if it is us, then you got about a hot 10 months left because we're retiring. Let me just put that out there. So if you're not going to get it in 2025 by us in 10 months, holla.
Should the Lord say the same? Okay.
I just had to say that.
Because that is our goal. We have some major projects.
We're not going to stay and do this forever.
I know. We have some major projects in 2025.
Yes.
Are going to transition us into retirement. Else. But we're here for you. We're here for you, okay? So, the book, The Joy of Living by Mother Teresa. The speaker of my devotional, Spy Encounter, his name is Drew. I listen to him every morning. Encounter is an app you can find. In one of the devotionals that he read, that he shared one morning, and I listened to it in the shower, this one really resonated with me because I'm a choleric temperament, and humility is hard for cholerics. Cholerics think they're always right. Cholerics are the doers. Cholerics are bosses by their own right. Cholerics like to tell people what to do. Cholerics don't back down. Cholerics always gotta have the last word. Who am I speaking to? Because that was me and still is me. But I've asked God to help me be a spirit-filled choleric. Tim and Beverly LaHaye have a book called Spirit Controlled Temperaments. Find it on Amazon and get it. That way you'll learn about what I'm talking about. But some of you guys know the temperaments because we've done vlogs on those in the previous seasons. But I'm saying that to say this resonated with me because for our marriage to go to the next level, I have to actually do some of these things that I've not done. And so we wanted to close the year out by giving you this gift of the 7 attributes of humility. Are y'all ready for them? Because it's going to help your marriage.
Go.
So, again, the book, The Joy of Living by Mother Teresa. The first one, speak as little as possible about yourself. That's the first one. Okay? Things to do in 2025. This is what we're talking about. When you are in your marriage or in your singleness and you're walking the road of 2025 and you're looking for something to focus on to make you a healthier individual by practicing humility. That was the first one.
Number 2, mind your business and not other people's affairs. Now that's going to be challenging for some of you because of social media. I'll read that one again. Mind your business and not other people's affairs. We're talking about humility. And if you're able to do that, to focus on you, not focus on someone else, then you'll find yourself in a place of enriching each other.
Right.
Because you focus on other people's business, but you're not focusing on this business right here.
Correct. Not to mention that most of what you see on social media is not authentic. People want you to see the them they want you to see. Just saying. And that's why it's so important to mind your business and not the affairs of others. So number 3, accept correction, insults, and injuries cheerfully. Ooh! Accept correction, insults, and injury cheerfully. This is Mother Teresa's book.
If this was a live vlog, we'll get all kinds of responses. You got to bleep, 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 bleep. How can a bleep, 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 bleep? You lost your bleep, 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 bleep. Because what that is saying is that that's almost an impossibility. You're telling me that I'm supposed to accept correction, insults, and injuries cheerfully. That goes against the grain of who we are as people. It does.
So if someone stepped on your toe and it hurt and they didn't even apologize or look at you, you're supposed to still manage to be cheerful. That behavior should not impact your ability to be cheerful.
Because we don't have the time, because we want to make sure that we don't
my nose
prolong. But what that does is that, light and darkness cannot coexist in the same space. Even in the space that you may feel insulted, or you getting corrected or injured verbally or mentally, when you respond in a cheerful way, it definitely does something from a spiritual realm.
For sure.
Think about Jesus Christ. He was insulted. He was injured. He was trying to be corrected. And what was his response every single time? And most times people walked away like, oh, man. Ooh, okay. So just take it for food for thought. Next one, number 4.
Accept being slighted. This was yours. You had to say it.
Accept being slighted, forgotten, and disliked. Accept being slighted, forgotten, and disliked. And again, this may be triggering for some. If you've experienced childhood trauma, and you were slighted, and you were forgotten, and you were abandoned, and you were disliked, then it's going to be difficult. And that's why it's important to heal so you can go to this next place. But this is the objective of this particular devotion, is that's the space to be in.
And in real time, there are holiday parties and people are having get-togethers, and you may have already been slighted and forgotten, and you may actually be disliked, and it shows by people, and you're wondering what you did or why they're treating you this way. And Mother Teresa is suggesting that we accept that because they did that to Jesus. And, if he could die on the cross for the same people that did that to him, why aren't we able to get to that place where we just accept that's where they are? And I promise you that once there is acceptance of who you are and whose you are, this is for someone. If you can accept who you are and whose you are, which is God, Jesus the Savior, the Trinity, the 3 in 1, you belong to that, then you will be able to accept how other people have treated you and slighted you and forgotten about you. Because Jesus will never forget about you. And so we really want to encourage you to remember that. And there are people that literally will embrace you if you go to the right places, you go to the right churches, you go to the right events, right? There are loving people in this world, okay? So you may just have to change your circle of influence. Number 5. That was me?
I just said the last one. You told me to do that one.
I'm sorry, that's right. Pass over the mistakes of others. You want to add to that?
Yeah.
That's number 5.
Pass over the mistakes of others. And when we're talking about others, others in your circle, but let's bring it close to marriage. Passing over the mistakes of what the spouse does, mistakes that they do. Passing over it. And we're not saying not have a conversation about it. We're not saying being mute and not say anything.
Right.
But just emotionally and spiritually and mentally look at what has taken place and say, I used to tell Sonia, that one was free. That's free. Whatever she did, free. Meaning that I'm not going to sweat that one.
Right.
I'm not going to worry about that. There's a reason for it. And so passing over the mistakes of others, again, these are challenging things to do, but that's the goal. That's the goal for 2025.
And we're working on it with you. This is our goal for 2025. So just come alongside and partner with us. You won't be alone. You can always check in. Y'all got our email and our social media information. Check in and let us know how you're doing. So number 6.
Be kind and be kind. And
Why you look at me like that?
I'm not finished. Be kind and gentle, even under provocation. So, in other words, if I'm tripping towards Sonia, I'm saying be kind and gentle, even when I'm kind of bringing my madness, my stuff.
I will say that I think out of all of these, I improved on that one this year.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
And some of these you have.
I mean, but this one was really, because I'm easily provoked. I'm a reactive whippersnapper. But this one, I just definitely found myself being a little kinder.
You have been.
And just being more patient. And patience is the area of weakness for the choleric. So that one. Okay, here's number 7, y'all. Y'all ready for number 7? Number 7 is a beast. Y'all ready? Drum roll. Number 7. When I tell you, I had a visceral response. I had a visceral response to this number 7. Always choose the hardest path. Why in the world would Mother Teresa tell us to always choose the hardest path? Because the hardest path develops character, which is why Jesus did what he did. Can you imagine that? To choose the hardest path.
Right.
So when you're making a decision in life and you have to make a decision between 2 choices, choose the hard one. This is for somebody in 2025. I don't know who this is for.
Right.
But this is for you because it's going to build your character.
Quick 30-second story because we have to end, honey. We're going to keep this time.
Yes, okay.
In the Marine Corps, right at the end of their boot camp is something called the Crucible. And they've gone through all this training for 12 weeks or so. I'm not sure the time frame now because it's been so many years since I was in. But they go through this 12-week training. And the last week of the training is called the Crucible. You got to go through the hardest part of the training in order for you to complete the whole process of becoming a Marine. I mean, you don't sleep, you don't eat, you're training at an intense level. You're living off of what you are training in, the woods and the territory, and you catch what you eat, and just the training is so intense at nighttime. And so, but that's the hardest path of training that they go through. And that's what they say, is to develop something in you that you never thought you had before. And when you look back, that's why I went through that. Always choose. So we didn't choose that training. We chose to go in, but you don't choose it. But we're talking about here, choosing the hardest path.
So you may have to bite your tongue instead of saying something to your spouse or to that colleague, to that co-worker, to that boss, to your children. You may have to choose the hardest path, which you could literally, in all justification, say your piece because you were wronged. But the hardest path would be to not say anything.
Right. You got to put your flesh up under subjection.
Mercy. And we're talking about humility. We're not talking about perfection. You know, we're not trying to tell you be perfect. What we do believe, though, is that if you practice humility, then your character will be perfected.
Yeah. So take this for what it is. Don't be, Sonia tells me I shouldn't be so hard on everybody. But don't be sending no foolish email about, what are you talking about? You don't know my situation. We don't know your situation. So take it for the essence of what we're sharing.
My mom would say, take it with a grain of salt.
Just take it and kind of digest it. And if the shoe fits, lace that bad boy up and wear it.
And if it doesn't apply to you, then you just help somebody else along the way.
And if it's difficult to do these things, then that's when you, accountability people in your life. I want to be held accountable to these things. I want to be able to say to my wife that, or say for her to say to me, you know what? Speak as little as possible about yourself, Derek. And I have to be able to say, noted. Got it. So take it for what it's worth. We hope this was beneficial.
We do.
Because it was beneficial for us even to go over these things. And that's our work, in addition to other work that we're doing, with ourselves. But this was very good. So.
Yeah. And we didn't want to just come on and not leave you something to aspire towards in 2025. In a few days, we would have lived to see it. Mm-hmm. And we have nothing but gratitude to God for allowing us to see it and allowing you to see it. Yeah. And so we pray that 2025 will give you character that is life-changing and allows you to be a light to others as we aspire to do the same. We thank you so much for watching, and we're sorry we didn't see you all in 2024, but here we are. And we look forward to coming back again. We probably will do one a month in 2025. We'll do a vlog once a month, okay?
We want to do more. We'll see what happens. We'll see what's up.
But I'm starting with realistic goals.
Is that realistic?
Right, that's realistic.
Maybe two.
We could do two. We could do two. We had a lot going on.
The social media thing, you're supposed to do one every week, and you got to shoot them things up, but we can't.
Well, we had a lot of stuff going on.
So maybe we can do two.
Okay, we'll aim for two.
We'll see what happens.
so that we can stay in touch.
Well, we thank you for supporting us.
And
anyway.
we do. We appreciate it. But we do have some things we want to share about the role of the husband and the role of the wife. Some new insights that God has given us in 2024 as we experience different life-changing experiences and new things to talk about. So we do have some new things we want to bring.
And we want to try not to have these videos this long. It's like 27 minutes.
But I don't think that they mind watching us for 27 minutes. We haven't been on all year. I'm just saying they could cut it off and come back. It's not an issue. I know Derek is really a stickler on not having long vlogs.
Well, they say that you're not supposed to have all these long vlogs because people don't have an attention span like a gnat.
Those that stayed on, thank you for watching for 28 minutes.
Okay, so let's...
And for those that left, come back later. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if they left, they wouldn't know I'm saying this.
Well, that's true, but they'll come back. I think people wanted to hear this.
I think so too.
I think that if this was worth staying on longer.
Okay, but it'll be shorter next time.
Yes. So
I'll say that.
Our goal, husband and wife goal, we're practicing more humility in 2025. We challenge you to do the same.
So now that you know what you want to do with it.
Thank you for watching, and be good to yourselves.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you in 2025.